wonderful person, and she is such a big heart. She's going to be sharing a lot today about how we perceive our dream building exercises, how to practically do it. I believe Alfie was involved in the project as well. And she's going to just talk about how to establish that, because we all want things in life and we want to then sort of have them in front of us and not somewhere, you know, where we're not aware of them or we're not thinking about them. She's going to bring that very much into the forefront of your mind. So with that, I'm going to hand over to Karen. I'm really looking forward to this, Karen. It's going to be super, super, super.
Thank you, Christina. Okay, let's screen share with you guys. Right. Okay, so you all know who I am. Well, most of you do, but it is lovely to have you all here this evening. So my training is on visions, stories, dreams, intentions, visualization. Basically, I'm going to be asking you what your vision is. I know my vision is to be working for myself in 18 months to 2 years, to have financial freedom, to be a yes parent and have more time for my family and friends, and do the things that I want to do and not have to book days off when I want to have days out. So if anybody has a vision, I'd like you to put it in the comments, or you can tell me what your vision is if we've got enough time. So if you put your vision in the chat, or you can tell me, write it down, and then we can discuss it a bit later. This is going to go slow, isn't it? There you go. So this is my vision board. I hope you can all see it. Made up by myself and my son. Basically, this is what I want to achieve in the 18 months to 2 years. You can make a board of vision, goals, life, dreams, intentions, achievements. You can even give yourself a time scale and put that on a calendar or put a reminder in your phone, so that that keeps you motivated to achieve your goals. Do things that help you achieve your goals, and just keep good intentions to help you achieve them. So I'm going to ask Gareth, because he's my number one at the minute. So Gareth, do you have a vision board? Where are you? I can't see you on my screen.
I started one, yeah.
Did you? And are you going to enlighten me as to what it's got on there?
Currently, it's got a Mercedes-Benz SRK in Everton blue.
Okay.
And some quotes which I liked, which I sort of printed off and cut out. And I was going to add more to it, but I haven't yet.
So when you've done that, can you take a picture and share it with the group on Messenger? Yeah?
Yes, I will, yeah. I forgot
Okay.
I was on mute then.
Cool.
Yeah.
So now, if Abdullah and Blue and anyone else on here, you just put them onto a piece of paper, do them on a computer, and then you can just look at it the whole time and just keep your visions focused, because that's all I do.
One of the things I've done, Karen, is I started looking at putting a vision board together, and I created a page on Pinterest. I don't know if anyone's on Pinterest.
Yeah,
and
I'm using that.
when I see something I like, I just chuck them on my Pinterest board. But they're all full of houses on the beach.
Okay, you're going to like my son's one then.
We do it on a computer and we have it rolling, so you can do it in different styles. So I'm going to share a bit of us as well, because we've done it for a long, long time, and we have it rolling on a screen. And we've got some things like a measure of some of the things you've all said, actually: the houses, the cars, the quotes, and the notable people and their attributes, which I liked what Gareth brought up there. And we have those around us, so we can see them, and we actually have it on a separate computer screen, which is quite exciting, really. So that's very, very cool. So I wanted to share that with you, because we've been doing it for a long time and it's very valuable, and we'll talk a bit more about that later, because I know you're going to add that in, so I don't want to spoil. Yeah.
Okay, so this is my son's vision board. When he gets slightly older, he wants to be able to have his own sports academy or run his own gym. He wants the nice, unique gaming setup. It's not going to cost me any money. That's his, not mine. He wants a dream house. He wants to have money, but he also said that money isn't everything. So with that money, he wants happiness, freedom. He wants to run his own restaurant. He wants to have nice holidays. So that's my 13-year-old son's vision board. So they are easy to do. And I'm hoping he succeeds in what he's got on his vision board. So, but that's Alfie. Okay, I've explained how to make your own vision board. You can do it on a computer, as Christina said. You can have it rolling on your screensaver. Easy to do. So on to my next one. What is your story? So if we think back to Robin's training of emotions, I need to know where you guys come from. So I'm going to ask Abdullah what his background, childhood, and his roots and lifestyle is. Can you talk to me, Abdullah?
Yeah, I can speak to you.
Oh,
Yeah, well, my background was I was born in Mauritius, or I came from Mauritius when I was 6. Then we emigrated from Mauritius to England, and I've been living in UK since 1982. So when I was growing up, I wasn't quite sure what I was going to do, but as soon as I became came out of school, that's where I really got interested in computers. So that's when I started to do these BTEC courses at IT, and I did it spent about 6 years at Blackburn College, just doing BTEC courses, BTEC first national, and then HND, and then eventually just a degree at Lancaster University. Even though the degree was Lancaster University, but I did at Blackburn College because they had like an agreement with Lancaster University, so I didn't have to actually go to Lancaster. I just did it in Blackburn, basically, the degree. Then after
okay.
that, I just wanted to pursue my career in IT, so I started working back in 2000 for Time Computers in Burnley. And then after that, I started to get jobs I got a job in London, and then I got a job in Germany. I just traveled basically where the job was. I just kept traveling. Where that's what I just thought to myself that I'm gonna be flexible with my career. If I'm not flexible, then I can't just expect to get a job on my doorstep unless I gain that experience that I really wanted, basically. So I just like last 20 years, I've just been traveling to different locations in UK and Europe and just working and basically just gaining that experience and coming back to England again.
Really, you've got a journey. You've just
Mm,
told me your journey of where you've come from and
yeah,
where you are now.
yeah.
So you can use that journey and
Mm,
turn it into a story
okay,
and tell others.
sure.
And you can tell them where you want to go.
Mm-hmm, sure.
So you can make stories of so many things.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, that's really cool. I'm glad I heard you say where you come from and stuff, because there's certain bits that I didn't know about you.
Okay.
No, that's cool. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So stories. Stories will help your audience understand who you are as a person, what you have achieved in life, and what you want to achieve. We tell stories to connect, to teach, to inspire others, and to share. If our stories have content, then they are more likely to stick into a person's mind than just a short or one-liner or a two-liner. It doesn't matter how embarrassing or irrelevant or non-important your stories are, or you think your stories are, others may find them fascinating, intriguing, and stories will always pique interest to others. The more stories you tell, the bigger and wider your audience will be.
Well, I'll have a go with the highlights of my life. I've spoken with some incredible, notable people, many of whom you know to be celebrities. Alongside them on stage has been some of my best experiences. And my best experiences have been when people have come up to me after major events and said I've touched their lives and made a difference, helping people to secure an incredible income and find themselves in their space and time in life. I've done a lot of that with coaching and finding people and financially. I know Americans lay claim to that a lot. We've done some incredible things. We've been to some incredible locations, but more importantly, with incredible people. Staying up through the night with certain mentors has been a pretty inspirational thing for us in our lives. Living where we live, like Liam said, we're very, very blessed to have the lifestyle we've got. But like a lot of you, we've got a backstory that takes us forwards, you know, towards this. And I love being creative towards the space that we're in right now. I mean, you've got some amazing stories. Stories are what people like to hear about you. You know, they do like to hear stories about you, where you come from, where you're going to, who's in your life and why they're in your life, you know. I think what Karen's brought up here is such a powerful thing. I'm going to hand it back to Karen now.
Thank you. Okay, so we all have a process. We have a process to attract prospects, engage prospects, promote our products and our business, and to get people on board. So here is the storytelling process. You come up with an idea, you research it if you have to, you write a script, you do a storyboard, which is what I've been talking about, create images, audio and videos, and then put it all together, share it, feedback and reflect. If it doesn't work the first time, you just try again. I know I've had to in plenty of my stories. But anyway, we all have a vision as well. I know Christina and Nick, they've had visions in the past, which is why they're where they are now. They've got like a car, a hot tub, an art studio, and they visualized all that and they've actually achieved it. And the same with Liam, he's achieved what he's achieved. So you can achieve things with your visions and your stories and your goals. So I'm just trying to make that really clear to you, because I'm not exactly a forward person anyway. I wouldn't be sitting here 6 months ago talking to 10 people on my screen because I'd be a nervous wreck. But hey ho, that's just how it goes now. Christina and Nick have made me confident, and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I want to share all of what I've experienced with you guys. So stories, public narratives, they engage and motivate and they create memories. So it builds memories, it builds deeper and stronger connections with your audience. It cultivates relationships and it makes content exciting, and people trust you and your brand, which then creates loyalty. So for the next slide, I'm going to ask you to do a task, which is this one. So I need you to all pick a story.
Your screen sharing, you just got to open that. While you're opening and finding your way, I'm just going to talk to everybody about stories, because stories entertain people. Stories keep people interested. And stories can be very, very topical. We've all got different stories to tell of different aspects of our life, different things we've been through, different experiences. So it doesn't have to be a personal experience. If I was born, I did this and so on. It doesn't have to be exposing. So if you're more shy like Jodie is, it doesn't have to tell anything huge about you. It just needs to engage and entertain people. So a very topical story is obviously relating to the funeral today. And for a number of people here who are a little older, we've all been to funerals. Has anybody here, just hands up, has anybody here been a pallbearer? They've actually carried the coffin. Has anybody actually done that? No? Nobody's done that. Okay, well, I've done that a number of times in my family. And we have one very, very short gentleman. He was a jockey, and he's about 4'10". So you can imagine he's shouldering the coffin, and he's a lot shorter than the rest of us. And it does not make for a very, very funny picture, okay? And I could elaborate on that story, because when we were lowering the coffin into the ground, he was too short and my dad had to grab him before he followed the coffin on down. And then, yes, exactly, it was quite a scene. So there are all sorts of stories that we all have, all sorts of life experiences. From Abdullah's point of view, he will have been in these various places in Europe, and he'll have all sorts of interesting stories, dark humor stories, sort of black humor like that, or light and funny stories, okay? So be a storyteller. That's what engages with people. That's what people love to hear.
You are, that sharing of your catharsis of where you've been and what's happening is actually really valuable. When you put your posts out and you put your stories out, there's an element of this in a lot of your work. But I really enjoy it because a good writer does that. what would be nice is to make the poignance out of this. So take those parts to help somebody else never feel like that, your children, the people you bring on in this business. Do we have regrets? Then of course we do. I mean, that's to be human, right? But I love that you shared that. There are elements of your life as they could have been and not. And I think the purpose of this with Karen is actually to bring those elements out, because we all think them, and then bring them forward into something that we can create with. As you all know, I know that Daryl's not partaking at the moment. I'll find out why afterwards. But Daz has got an incredible story. He was in drugs and alcohol. He bottomed out, bombed out, crashed, and came back up. People have got amazing stories, and that's one of regret, because a lot of things happened to him. I'm sure that if we get to the depth of the story, it'll be like, wow, and then come back up. So it's incredible. And it's really nice of you to share it with us. We actually appreciate it. Oh, there's Daz. Oh my, getting out. There's something moving. Good Lord.
I'll do it on the
Where you can.
Quick, grab him.
No joking.
grab me. Sorry, guys. I'm really sorry. Oh, what a nightmare. How are we?
I'm assuming you haven't got a pen and a piece of paper with you, Daryl.
I have. I was on the bus. I was writing everything down, listening in. I've just jumped off. I kept hearing my name. I couldn't hear you properly or speak properly because there was loads of noise on the bus.
That's okay.
Yeah, I was a teenager once and playing all the music at the back, but you know, it's not so fun now.
I was actually trying to get your story out of you.
Okay, am I too late?
I don't know. Is he too late, Christina?
No, I think you should share it for a couple of minutes. Not too much, Daz. Price it up.
My story? Whoa. Wow, what a roller coaster of a life I've lived in terms of, not on the outside, on the inside, really. Where do I start? It was not a bad childhood. State lad. So, you know, hung around with the wrong crowd. Me and my brother were very close in terms of, well, we're still close now, but and in terms of age, he went off in a different direction than I did, which, looking back at it now in hindsight, is obviously was a bad choice. But you know, I'm still alive in good health now, so I'm grateful for that. Yes, that led me to the party lifestyle. Again, I'd say it weren't bad because of the great memories, but I can't remember anything. So what I decided to do up until, where was it, last year, again, not a bad person, just making bad choices. Still stuck by the kids, you know, school runs, part-time work, stuff like that. It weren't up until 2 years ago that I decided that enough was enough. You know, when you have them wake-up moments, everybody has them. I used to have them every Sunday morning, you know, never drink it again. And then, you know, the next weekend, back out on it again. But decided that enough was enough, realised that you've got to replace things. That's the one thing I never sort of grasped hold of is when you want to make changes in your life, you can't just give stuff up and expect the hole to be filled. You have to replace it with good habits. So, you know, I started going to the gym, I started reading, I started spending more time with my kids, and I became very emotional, which was strange. Because one thing I've come to realise is when you become addicted to things, no matter what it is, it drains your emotions. You become a bit sort of dead inside, so to speak, is what I used to use. And then, you know, it was about 2 months in to stopping drinking. No doctor's help, no nothing, no rehab, nothing like that, just pure determination. And it's looking back now, it's not one of the easiest things to do. I just started crying a lot after about 2 months. And it was because I was in connection with like love with my kids, and at the time my fiance as well. And it was just really weird because it'd been like 7-8 years when I was just sort of, you know, not drinking every day, but pretty much most days. So all these emotions started getting over me, and then I started looking into other avenues, reading new books. Got addicted again, but I got addicted to personal development. I got addicted to going to the gym, to growing every day, to giving back. Because one thing I realized was I started having substances and drinks because I had confidence issues. You see, I'd want to say something to somebody, it'd be in a crowd because I'm an introvert. I want to say something to somebody, but I was too shy to say it. because I felt like I was being judged, or I felt like somebody would say something and I'd just shut down, which is what I did a lot. So I just got drunk to the point where I didn't care what everyone else thought. And then, as I say, at 2 months in, I started to get in connection with my emotions, my subconscious. I started reading more and more about the way that the body works and how people work. And I just thought, just be yourself. Just, be the best version of yourself and look to improve yourself all the time. And the more I did that, the more I studied the law of attraction, which attracted people, wonderful people like yourself into my life. So I've just got to keep going with it. Like, life's one big journey anyway, and there's a lot of risks you get in life, but the inevitability is we're all going to go at one point, right? So it's what legacy you leave behind at the end. And if I can leave a legacy that inspires people, just through just being myself, then geez, take me on the ride. And yeah, that's led me up to today. It's not a finished article, nowhere near, but I'm doing this for this. I'm doing this for this one. You see, all the things we can gather in life, materialistic things, we can't take that stuff with us. So instead of trying to give her all the things that I never had as a kid, I'm going to teach all the things I was never taught, because what's opened my eyes in the world of networking, especially, is we're programmed to go get a job, to be in an office, be boxed in, and that's not the way I work. That drives me nuts, the idea of working for someone else for the rest of your life. You know what I mean? So it was actually funny. I heard something a boss said, that somebody said, "Oh, nice car," to him, and he says, "Oh yeah, work twice as hard next year, I'll have a better car." I thought, I'm not living my life like that. So I thought, no, everything I'm doing for now. You just got to have patience, desire, and just determination, really. I think that can take you anywhere in life.
Guys, I'm going to stop you there, Daz, because you're a good talker. Everybody here has got an amazing depth in them, and I love that. Your wife, your daughters, all the things you're sharing, the shyness, the truth of who you are is lovely, because we have veneers today. We have a veneer because of social media and all that rubbish, and we're not really true to ourselves. But when we talk amongst ourselves quietly here, which is really nice, we are actually sharing an aspect of us that drives us from a negative standpoint to a positive standpoint. And actually, I'm going to bring it back on the positive, because there's a lot of us have had some awful things happen in our lives and then push through them to make them a positive. And I absolutely love this, but it's actually taken longer than I thought for poor old Karen, because she's new to this. So Karen, I'm going to bring you back on your slides. Thank you for sharing, Daz. Thank you, Gareth. Thank you, Deb, so far. It's beautiful. I've done it earlier. Let's go back to the slides. Yep, so we have a little look at that.
Okay. Okay, so stories are for joining the past to the future. Stories are for those late hours in the night when you can't remember how you got from where you were to where you are. And stories are for eternity, when memory is erased, when there's nothing to remember except your story. So always remember your past, your present, and your future. Mindset. You have to have the right mindset. So you can either be the 2% of the population that is going for their dreams, embracing the unknown, liking a change, living without limits, choosing happiness, exploring new things, or you can be the 98% of the population that sticks to their comfort zone and just gets by and lives a dull life and settling for less and just surviving. So I'll let you guys pick your mindset after my training session. And there's my story, which you've probably all heard before, but last year I was made redundant, just like many people, but I managed to keep my keep my employment up until November 2020. And then I found Nick Hartery, or should I say he found me on LinkedIn and introduced me to this fabulous global business called Zealous. In the beginning, I was nervous and skeptical, just like many people would be, and stepping out of my comfort zone that I'd been
Could say
doing
it's an aeroplane.
for 20 years and since leaving school. But then Nick showed me the way the business worked, introduced me to the products, and part of me felt that I could step out of my comfort zone and do something different with my life. So now, as you all know, I'm working the hours that suit me, that allow me to spend more time with my son at football matches. Thank God they're back. They offer so much support and training. They're ambitious people, probably a couple of the most ambitious and creative people I've ever met, to be fair. So changing the way I work has made me look at things so much differently. I work the hours I want, and now I help people with their health and well-being, which to me is priceless. And it's a lot more fulfilling than my PA secretary job that I've done for 20 years. So thank you all for listening. And I will just leave you with this last slide. Miracles are retelling in small letters of the very same story, which is written across the whole world in letters too large for some of us to see. You can't go back and change the beginning, but you can start where you are and change the ending. So thank you all for listening, and I hope I haven't bored you too much.
No, you've been brilliant. Well done. Give her a clap.
Not at all, Karen. Really good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That was really good, Karen.
Yes, really good.
I'm
And
going to stop
you know,
sharing now.
it's okay. What I found wonderful about that is that we all shared parts of ourselves, including us earlier.